sometimes things have simply run its course. This is what we call a natural ending. It's like in the springtime, the leaf that is on the tree, it begins as a tiny bud. It's full of promise, it's full of potential, but I want you to understand it has a season. It's going to soak up the sunlight, it's going to help bring oxygen to the tree, but I want you to know it does have a season. It keeps working through the summertime, but somebody said autumn is coming. That leaf keeps working through the summertime, but by the time the autumn rolls around, I want you to understand that the weather begins to shift. The days get shorter, not as much sunlight. The temperatures are now a bit cooler. That leaf begins to fade. It goes from green to gold to orange to red, and eventually it falls off because its time has come. It has an experience with a natural ending. And so every appointed season, we realize, also has an appointed ending. We like the season, but we don't like to understand that it really does have an ending because we tend to hold on to people too long. We tend to hold on to places too long. We tend to hold on to mindsets and mentalities too long. We tend to hold on to the roles that are in their autumn. And if the role is in its autumn, then the best thing you can do is let it go. I want you to understand that we must learn to honor God for the season that was and trust God for the season that will be. Look at your neighbor, tell him something new is on the horizon. God is up to something, and something's about to break loose in my life. I want you to understand that although there are natural endings, there are also what we call strategic endings. Strategic endings represent the fact that there are deliberate choices to stop something that is not working. It is no longer serving its purpose. In 1955, there was a high school student. Her name was Claudette Colvin. She refused to give up her seat on a segregated bus in Montgomery, Alabama. She was arrested. And a few months later, Rosa Parks did the same thing. She did not give up her seat, and she was arrested. It was the Women's Political Council, the Montgomery Improvement Association, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who led the year-long bus boycott that culminated in a calculated strategic ending of the systematic injustice in public transportation in Montgomery, Alabama. That's what you call a strategic ending. We're going to put a stop to this. Isaiah 1 and verse 17 says this. God said, learn to do right and seek justice. He said, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of the fatherless, and plead the case of the widow. In essence, bring about a strategic ending to stop that is not just. Because strategic endings are intentional, they are purposeful, they are disruptive, and they are not emotional. People not in their feelings when you find them facilitating a strategic ending. They're recognizing something is wrong with this picture, and we're going to do something about it. So this represents disruptions of systems. These are disruptions of habits, and these are disruptions of affiliations. But there is one more ending that Dr. Cloud talks about, and it's the one we're focusing on in this next couple of minutes. It's called a necessary ending. Somebody shout a necessary ending. That speaks to the fact that even good things can come to an end. Even good things can be in need of an ending. Even good things can need to be redone. I want you to understand, in order for something better to begin, sometimes you got to get rid of what's happening right now. It means there's a necessary ending that must occur if I am going to experience what's best. And so here it is in 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse number 1, where God basically tells Samuel, he says, listen, how long will you halt, or how long are you going to mourn over Saul whom I have rejected? In essence, Saul